Jan, thank you for this meeting. It seems this is a very challenging time, yes, for everybody and for Haileybury Almaty also. So yesterday you started your school year. So what is, could you please answer how all this new safety policies works? Is it really possible for kids to wear masks, to use sanitizers and etc.?
Well, thank you. And firstly, may I say it's a joy to be back in Almaty for the first time in 6 months. Yes, it's a very good question, very important question. I think we start really with an answer that all of our staff have been tested for COVID before yesterday, and everybody is negative. So that's important. But ever since May, we have spent every single day preparing for yesterday. So to be talking about creating a safe and sanitary environment for the children. So, for example, we have entry tunnels which are sanitized. We have mats which people walk over. Everybody wears a mask in every area, and it's difficult for the children to begin with, because of course they are normal children. They want to run up to their friends and hug them, but very quickly they learn that life is slightly different. And what we've done is we've created bubbles, and bubbles are areas where only those children will learn, only those children will play, and only those children will eat. And that keeps them in the same bubble together. And the school itself, everywhere they go, there are hand sanitizers, and they are encouraged and they're taught how to use them. Every classroom has a hand sanitizer. It also has an air purifier in the classroom, a quartz purifier. So we've done everything we can to make the school as safe as possible and with the highest world-class hygiene standards.
And what will happen, this is a very important question, I think, what will happen if for some reason there will be new COVID cases with families or with
Of
kids?
course, yes, and it's a very good question because we don't know where that may occur. It may come from a family bringing it into the school. That's why it's very important to have bubbles, because if somebody is tested positive, then the bubble itself will isolate, and everybody in the bubble will be sent home. Everybody will isolate for 14 days, and then medical certificates will be required before they can return back to school. So by having bubbles, you are minimizing the contact with other children, and that's really important. So only the people in the bubble are affected.
Thank you. So as we know, for now some of pupils are online and some are at home, yes? Can you tell us exactly, yes, finally, who is in school and who is at home?
Do you know, we ourselves have been ready to welcome back every single pupil into Haileybury, from reception in Almaty, creche in Astana, all the way through to our 18-year-olds who are in year 13. Unfortunately, the government has made the decision, the chief sanitary and medical doctors have made the decision to keep everybody online apart from those children up to year 3. Okay, so all children from reception in Almaty up to year 3 are online. Those children are offline. Those children are in school and they're being taught, as I say, in these bubbles.
But as I saw your information, yes, before, you plan that school of year 4 and 6 also will be in school. This
yes,
things
we
changed?
did. We did. It changed. It changed actually 3 times. But finally, the decision from the chief sanitary doctor in Almaty was different to the recommendation from the doctor, the national doctor, because of the situation in Almaty specifically. And so we have to go with those rules. We want our children to be in, but we appreciate that there are rules that we have to follow, and that's why years 4, 5 and 6 will stay online until the chief sanitary doctor says that they can come back into school. We really hope that will happen in the next 2 weeks.
And do you know what the position of Haileybury parents are? They sent you some emails, some letters, what they are asking about?
Yes, absolutely. So Our parents, in order to send their children to school, have got to fill out what we call a consent form. And that means that they agree to their children coming to school. For our parents, we've had something like 95% positive about coming into school. So when their children are allowed in, they will come.
Yes, for myself, I have the same. It's a little bit frightening for me, but I have the same decision because I'm sure that you can yes, work with the situation in the school.
And to keep them safe. That's
yes,
the important thing,
is
we want to keep the children safe, which is why we tested every teacher, which is why we've spent a lot of money making the campus safe, which is why we have specific protocols about social distancing, about wearing masks, about sanitizing your hands, about not mixing the bubbles. All of these are really important safety measures to keep every child safe.
And what's now happened with your communication with government? You continue some work, you try to find new decisions?
We do, and when we try every day to influence people, because we genuinely believe that our campus is safe and that the children will be safe.
Okay, yes. And what is the story with school food? As also I communicate with some parents and they are said that it's a very strange situation that they kids didn't provide with food in school.
Yes, I mean I think that the problem is that we have a campus in Nur-Sultan, we have a campus in Almaty, and the regulations from the local government are completely different. And so in Almaty we had a sanitary and education inspection on Monday, on the national holiday, and we were told that the canteen was not allowed to open. So we challenged that and we said, look, we're ready. We have all the protocols in place. We want to be able to feed our children because they're here on site. And I'm very pleased to say that from Thursday, tomorrow, the 3rd of September, we will be able to open our catering facilities.
Yeah, so let's the things go on. Yes, not change it
well,
again.
We hope so. I can only tell you what I know today.
Yeah, for today, yes. Yes, okay. And and what is the difference about online education from last year to this year? Do you have some?
Yes, we do. I mean, I think every school, when they went online last year, it was a completely new environment for everybody, and everybody was learning as they went along. But I think we've learned a lot, and one of the most important elements of this is that all of our teachers will be in the school delivering the lesson from their own classroom, whereas last term they were at home all around the world, so their resources were limited, their access to the internet was sometimes very intermittent, and at the moment we have a very strong internet in the school, and that will allow us to deliver live lessons every day to every child. We've also created a new digital learning booklet for each year group, and we've invested in new cameras and new equipment to ensure that we give access to everybody who needs it. So we're very confident that what we're delivering is very high quality. We've taken information from every other school in the world about how the best way to do it. And I think it's also very important that we highlight the fact that pastoral care, well-being, is a big part of this. It's not just about what they learn in the curriculum, but as we all know, this is a virus that hasn't just affected us physically, but has affected us emotionally and mentally as well. And it's really important that our community stays together and is supported by our staff members, our teachers, whether they're classroom teachers or housemasters or tutors, depending on which part of the school, because if they are mentally, emotionally supported, they will learn in the classroom as well.
Before you talk a little bit about influences, yes, so Haileybury have many parents that have really good image and etc. So how this can work? Do you maybe try to speak with them, or they just make their own decision? What are you waiting from these persons?
So what we've done over the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks really, is to use our social media presence to be influencers ourselves.
Yes.
We've used our knowledge of world education, our knowledge of world health, to direct people to research documents from places like Harvard and Cambridge, from Johns Hopkins University, about the impact and the effect of COVID on young children, and also the impact of not bringing your children to school on their curriculum learning and also their mental health. And what we want to do is to be able to give high quality, important information to our parents so that they can make an informed decision. We understand that everybody is scared.
Yes.
That's why we want to make it as clear as possible what decision they're going to make to be the right one. That's important. So the more information they have, the better it is for everybody.
Yes, okay, thank you. And one more very important question for parents, yes, about school fees. So as many students started this year online, do you plan any discounts?
I think that, and I think I'm right in saying this, that the discounts that we offered last term were bigger than anywhere else in the world. Now we did that because we appreciated that this was a huge challenge for our parents at a time when the world was panicking and everything was very hard. Those losses are entirely unsustainable for us. And so the board made the decision not to offer discounts this year because our costs are still pretty much the same as we would if we were in a normal situation. No teacher is out of school. Everybody is in their classrooms. Every single teacher is teaching full time, because if they're teaching the children in the school, they're on site. If they're teaching online, then the teacher is on site and the child is online. But everybody is working full time. And the vast majority of our costs are in sterling or dollars. And it is impossible to reduce those. And of course, if we did, then the quality of the education would be reduced, because we could not be in a position where we stopped some teachers from working, because then they wouldn't be able to teach either online or offline. And so we hope everybody will understand that the huge discounts that we gave last year were for one term, and they were more than double a lot of the other schools. There was no school in the UK that offered more than 20%, for example. So the minimum discount we offered was 40%. So you could say that if you took 20% from last term and 20% from this term, you still would be no different to that. So we've supported our parents in the last term. We hope now that they will support us. And we obviously, what we want and we're ready for is to have every child back on site.
But are you really sure that you ready for this? You really ready and responsible from school side, of course?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, if you come onto the site, which of course you can't do because no parent is allowed,
yes.
But you could do after school, for example. So one of the things we will be doing is taking a walkthrough for posting on social media, so that parents can see what measures we've taken. There are one-way systems on the floor. As I said, there are hand sanitizers in every classroom and in all the corridors. Everybody is wearing a mask. Everybody is social distancing. Every single measure that we can take, we have taken. And it will be a new normal. It will be a different world that people will come back to. Yes. But it will be a safe one when they are in school. And that's the most important.
Yes. Thank you so much for all this information, and that you try to be, yes, very open in this situation, because this
Absolutely.
is very important also.
Thank you. And you know, we want to answer any questions that come to us, because we want to be open and we want everybody to understand what the situation is. And very often it's very easy to have a situation where a decision is made, and of course it's not our decision. We're not in control of it, but we will always try our best to communicate with our parents before anybody else knows, but sometimes if it's afterwards, then as soon after as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.